I've actually heard about this. Yo, I seen clips of these old ladies talking like, when can I get you over? Like, and like just weird stuff to when he was like 15, 14. It's like, bro, how did they let you get away with that?
Last person on earth you feel bad for. The blonde-haired, blue-eyed tween made a few YouTube videos singing in 2007, got swooped up by the major record labels, and they forced his generic pop songs onto us. Then every young girl in the world became obsessed with him, making him millions of dollars and keeping his songs in rotation on the radio. He was an easy person to hate, or just completely disregard. However, in the early 2010s, he started to change. He was lashing out in public, assaulting people, and starting to confirm people's suspicions of him being a snobby,
he laid that man out. He was on the ground.
Rich brat. And although this video is not going to be me trying to convince you that Justin Bieber is an unproblematic saint, there is another perspective to consider that might make his antics a little understandable. For example, the many times he was blatantly assaulted or harassed in public.
Can I say this? Lean into me again. You smell amazing. How old are you?
Thank you.
It isn't very difficult to see how uncomfortable Justin is.
Bro, James Corden needs to reflect.
Is leaning in as close as he possibly can with his hand resting on Justin's back.
Thank you so much. Look at him. Look at what a beautiful face. All right.
Yeah.
Rubbing Justin's face was just disrespectful, but he couldn't resist touching the boy. Bieber awkwardly tries to go along with the joke, but James makes it even worse.
Voted to just do it. Don't mess around. Don't tease me, Bieber.
People couldn't keep their hands off Justin, including Katy Perry, who had to get herself a handful as she mouths to the camera, "Sorry, Selena." At the end of this,
how old is he? Like, did people really just, bro? And I was how old is Justin Bieber compared to me? He's 23 now. 20 now, bro. Oh my God, I was such a kid.
This interaction, Justin
bro, I didn't
said,
even have the chance to speak out. See, I'm not in the wrong. Everybody who watched this and was just like,
which made some
that's
people
whatever,
think that he
bro.
was
You
okay
need to
with
think
his
about
behavior.
that.
Even David Letterman put his hands on Justin. During the 2012 interview, David insisted on denouncing Justin's tattoos.
Is that a new tattoo?
This is a new tattoo.
Oh God, how many do you have?
I have just a couple.
Well, tell me that's the last one.
Fuck is his problem?
No, it is. You don't, I mean, honestly.
David decided to treat Justin like his son's troubled friend looking for guidance, even though it was never asked for. Funny thing is, Justin ended up doing exactly what David told him not to do. But Letterman took it too far when he put his hands on Justin.
You know, I got believe.
Get that off.
Hey.
Although this one
Imagine he swung.
wasn't explicit in nature, it was still totally uncalled for. David would later apologize for his behavior, but it's odd to see how many people were so willing to put their hands on the boy. Luckily, he was able to prevent Leo.
At this point, like, all the money he has today, everything he has today, he's earned it out of settlement for the trauma they put him through.
Remney from getting her hands on him during this interview on The Talk. Justin had to shout no 5 times before she would stop, but that's not all. Earlier in this segment, she was forcing him to answer a really strange would you rather question.
Would you rather have to be naked on stage during one full song, or drink a cup of blended worms?
A bunch of old women, bro. Like
Answer Justin Bieber.
No way this was not passed today. This was not passed today, and for a good reason.
For no reason at all, Leah insisted on pushing this very sexual question while there are little girls and boys directly behind her in the audience. Justin realized he was trapped because no matter what he tried to say, she was trying to force the answer she wanted out of him, but he stood his ground and chose to not give in to her manipulation. This wasn't the first time Justin stood his ground when a host got sexual with him. While doing a radio show called Mojo in the Morning, the host, Shannon Murphy, brought the conversation in a strange direction.
Has your mom given you a sex talk yet? I mean, like, I really don't want to have that conversation with my mother. Yeah. Like, I've kind of had it with my father.
You want to hear, oh, really?
Why is... No, what's she about to say?
See, my parents never gave me the sex talk.
Okay.
So why don't you give me the sex talk?
No. Because he's like 13. Bro's like 13.
Really, I feel uncomfortable right now.
Reasonable.
Why do you want to know the sex talk from a 15-year-old boy?
He was so aware. Oh, I feel so bad.
It's pretty weird.
He very clearly
in the
stated
world,
that
the world did not care. The world gave no fucks about him.
Was uncomfortable when the host brought up sex, but the circumstances that built up to this are a bit confusing because earlier in the conversation, this happened.
Justin, what are you going to be doing after the show tonight? I thought I was picking you up.
Now, when I was 15 years old, I probably would have said some dumb stuff like that to an older girl, but apparently Justin couldn't keep his hands to himself.
That little kid is like a walking set of hormones. He is.
Wow, got a little too touchy-feely with you?
He wasn't just like patting my butt, he was grabbing my butt and he kept saying, "Is it inappropriate? Is this inappropriate?"
Oh my God.
And he would grab
is
it harder and go, "Is it inappropriate now? Is it inappropriate now?" Hi.
It's crazy how he's the only one who asked for consent.
Oh my gosh, he's kissing me. Here, come sit here. Come sit with me right here. Dude, Justin Bieber just like comes up and you just started making out with me, you know that?
And you let that happen?
Is that not appropriate?
Justin was obviously flirting with Shannon in a juvenile way. Then she said live on air how Justin was touching and kissing her. We can imagine there were
I was hoping that was a picture from a court case.
definitely some instances where Justin felt like he could probably touch whoever and whatever he wanted, since, well, it was often done to him. But regardless, the 26-year-old shouldn't have brought up the sex conversation on the air. Even men were infatuated with young Bieber. L.A. Reid, music executive who signed Justin to his first major record deal, said, "This kid was beautiful. Like a woman can be beautiful, and men rarely are. And he turned it on as soon as he stepped into the room." He recalls how Bieber had grown his hair down almost covering his eyes, and says he could see immediately that Justin's hair would be every bit as important as his songs, his voice, his face, or his presence. Justin was simply beautiful. He gushes. His superpower was his face. The context of this article makes it seem like L.A. Reid was attracted to the young Bieber, but we don't really know that for sure. He was definitely right about his star power, but how he came to that conclusion just seems a little odd. However, the most deplorable
because he
assault
was beautiful like a woman.
By Jenny McCarthy at the 40th Annual American Music Awards.
How did they get away with this? Like you see that expression where he's like, y'all saw what I saw? Oh, we're just gonna keep clapping? Oh, okay.
I feel violated right now.
A shocked Justin Bieber couldn't say anything but the truth. "I feel violated right now." By this point, this was all too...
Yo. Sure.
It's Daniel. He's streaming. Leave him alone.
She's barking at my noises?
I think so. I think
No.
she heard you upstairs and was like, "What?"
But I've been in my room. That's
I
weird.
know, she's
Yeah.
just being weird. She's just
Yeah,
being weirdo.
she is.
Hey, Lou, calm down. Hey, enjoy the stream. Yeah, this looks so cool. All right. Hey, what about Justin Bieber? You watch?
It's a Patrick CC video where he's talking about Justin Bieber. You know what happened, right? Like back in the day, people would, like women would just molest. They would molest him. They would like do things that if it was a man doing to a girl, for example, they would be in jail for years, and they'd openly admit it on live radio or all these things that were just so messed up.
Early 2010s kind of like, hey, we understand that.
Acknowledging openly that he was 15, verbally, before saying some wild thing.
Nah,
don't even know.
And I want to lick
Like,
all
yeah.
over your body, prepubescent.
Yeah,
body.
exactly, and they felt so comfortable saying that.
Yeah, that was grimy. That was weird.
It was mad grimy.
Yeah, that was weird.
See you, bro. Guar. I'm not sure. I'm not Guar. I'm not
Too common
familiar.
for him. The craziest part is that Jenny straight up admitted to her crimes.
I took the opportunity in the window, considering
It's too
I'll never
late.
get to do
Your
it
message
again,
just came
and
in.
kind of molested him. It'd be like cougar rape.
Jenny clearly enjoys the predatory behavior, as she described it as molestation and R-word. She thinks it's cute and quirky and even bragged about it on Twitter after. Now, if this all happened while the cameras were on, could you imagine what happened while the cameras were off? Just like many child stars, Justin turned to drugs. Every teenager experiments, but he was trying to cope and escape, which led to behavior that left a permanent stain on his reputation. For all the people that hated Justin, he was about to give them a stronger reason. And for all the people with unrealistic expectations, they were about to be crushed. His first
I'm not even gonna lie. I think people who idolize people to this degree, even at a young age, I don't think as a parent you should allow, like, I don't even think it should be normal to be like, this is the best person in the world, I love them, and you never met them, you never seen them, They don't know your name. They don't know what you look like. Like creating these one-sided relationships with people you don't know is just like I think it's underrated just how unhealthy that is. When like they never even said a word to you, like they don't, like, it's just they're so detached, and you're like, just it's just, bro, it's all in the face, I guess.
Controversy began in 2013 when TMZ leaked photos of him holding what appeared to be a blunt. Although Justin faced no charges for the incident, this was our first clue that Bieber was beginning to shed his wholesome image. Things took a turn for the worse later that same year. While on the European leg of his Believe tour, Justin stopped in England just in time for his 19th birthday. Later that day, Bieber tweeted, "Big night ahead," anticipating his birthday celebration. He and his entourage had planned a $8,000 birthday bash, booking tables at the Cirque du Soleil Club in Soho. Unfortunately, the celebration didn't meet expectations after members of Justin's entourage were denied entry into the club because a few of the members of Bieber's party were under the suitable age of 18. Justin tweeted, "Worst birthday," complimented with a message to his Instagram account, voicing his side of the story. "I love how the club wanted to give the press another reason why we didn't stay at their weak-ass club, so they wouldn't look bad for me walking in and right back out." People thought Justin felt entitled to come into another country and break the rules because he is a star. From there, he allegedly showed up 2 hours late for his debut show at the O2 Arena after throwing a massive tantrum. Several backstage sources claim Bieber was in a bad mood after waking up late because of a night out and proceeded to lock himself in his dressing room to play computer games. The crowd reportedly began booing at about 9:30 p.m., almost an hour before Justin ultimately hit the stage. If the week couldn't get any worse, Justin lashed out at a photographer outside his London hotel after the man called him a f***ing little moron.
What'd you say? You heard what I said, man. What'd you say? You heard what
Bro, it's just hurt.
Lose your f***ing belt. Lose your f***ing belt. Lose your f***ing belt. I'm back, you prick. I'm back, you prick. Right? That's all, f***ing little What are you doing?
I just love the irony of this situation. The photographer tries to get a rise out of Justin, then Justin responds with threats, then the photographer gets really mad at Justin for getting mad at him, and the guy also taking a video of the situation gets upset when someone starts filming him. Ridiculous.
But like paparazzi, wait, you can't film me.
He responded on Twitter by saying he had a rough morning and that he let his emotions get the best of him. But this incident started his lifelong beef with the paparazzi.
That's fair. The paparazzi are weirdos, bro.
2013, Justin and his entourage were involved in an altercation with a photographer outside the Hit Factory studio in Miami. The entire exchange was caught on tape. Later that same day, Justin was skateboarding outside the Hit Factory when another photographer began snapping photos of him. Bieber's bodyguards allegedly rushed the photographer.
Nah, watch me carry an EMP around.
And one started choking him. The photographer claimed that he grabbed his camera and removed the memory cards. It seemed like every few months there was another controversy, just slowly chipping away at his reputation. Like when he peed in a cleaning bucket while partying. Justin and his friends left a nightclub through the restaurant's back entrance before stopping to relieve himself in the kitchen, more specifically in the bucket that is filled with water to clean the floor.
Yeah, that's just messed up. In my opinion, either you film everyone or no one. Yeah, I feel like, yeah, it's just like if you're specifically stalking one person, going to their home at 4 a.m. just in case they walk outside of their home to do anything, or like just stalking it's mainly just harassing and stalking people. It's weird.
This is
weird.
Just another inconsiderate drunk teenager doing what a million others have done before, but Justin should know better. Then while passing through China during the Asia leg of his Believe tour, a picture was posted of him being carried up the stairs, which caused people on the internet to label him as a diva. His controversy—
That is strange, especially by the bodyguards that are paid to be there. But who knows, they might have been playful, they might have been cool. But we don't know.
These were definitely minor in the beginning. He was being heavily criticized, attacked in blogs and by TMZ for the situations that were pretty small.
And I wouldn't be surprised if he was a bad person, because I think people who are put through bad things end up, a lot of times, like just projecting their pain into other
Controversies
people. But, like,
just never stopped.
Yeah, I can't even be mad. I just feel bad.
Footage got more detailed,
after
and the
that
reactions
intro.
just got worse, including the time he caused an entire revolution in Colombia. In November 2013, Justin was undergoing the Latin American section of his Believe tour. While in Bogota, Colombia, Justin snuck out of his hotel to do graffiti in an area where graffiti is banned. He painted a marijuana leaf and the Canadian flag while the police provided him with security. We aren't sure why the police decided to protect him, and the locals were outraged because 2 years prior, a police officer shot and killed an unarmed 16-year-old kid while he was spraying graffiti in an area similar to the one where Justin did his. Rebellion against law enforcement broke out because if Justin Bieber can spray graffiti, so can they. And if the police protected Justin, they should defend graffiti artists instead of harassing and incarcerating them. 300 artists came together and occupied the area where Justin sprayed his graffiti, and over 24 hours painted more than 700 pieces of graffiti. Justin Bieber was the cause for all of this to happen. The poor dude had no idea what he sparked.
Yeah, I mean, he did spark it. He caused it. I don't think. Of course, it wasn't planned or anything.
Said one of the young graffiti artists. The rebellious graffiti trend spread like wildfire to other major cities across Colombia, with hundreds of other artists joining the movement. He also had a spitting problem, with multiple reports over the years of him spitting on people during violent outbursts,
Having a
including
spitting
his
problem
own
sounds
fans
crazy.
who were visiting him outside of his hotel in Toronto where he spat down on them.
Oh my god, they were probably like baby birds too, bro. The fans of people who like go to their houses, they would do weird stuff like open their mouth.
Laughter with his
Not
buddies.
even gonna lie.
And he took a photo of his view, which was posted on Instagram sporting a caption about how he has the best fans in the world. In 2014, he spat in his neighbor's face after a heated argument, which started by Justin driving his Ferrari at over 100 miles per hour down the road. When his neighbor confronted him at the front doorstep, Justin told him to get the F out of here before spitting in Jeff's face and saying, "I'm gonna effing kill you." A year later...
No, that's psychopathic.
He had
That's psychopathic. Yeah, they probably didn't want to spit, but the neighbor, no, that's like
another altercation with the same neighbor, which resulted in Justin throwing 24 eggs at his neighbor's house.
Hey, fuck you, asshole! I got another one for you, actually. Yeah, come right over here, you motherfucker. Call the cops.
Months later, Justin pleaded no contest to 1 count of misdemeanor vandalism for the incident. In exchange for the plea, he was ordered to pay $80,000 in restitution and to stay away from his former neighbor.
No way that okay, so restitution isn't the damages, right? Restitution has to be the damages, the mental torment. Was it worth $80 for the eggs? That's
and the
crazy.
Family for 2 years.
But I mean, not crazy
At this
for
point,
Justin
kind of proved he was a privileged boy with an attitude problem. But this last controversy was
That's probably fair for
spiraling
Justin.
down. In June of 2014, a video emerged of the 15-year-old Justin telling racist jokes about black people, using the N-word multiple times. As the video went viral, Justin issued an apology, stating, "I thought it was okay to repeat hurtful words and jokes, but I didn't realize at the time that it wasn't funny and that, in fact, my actions were continuing the ignorance." Some people gave him the benefit of the doubt, that he was young and dumb, but then a second video showing a 15-year-old Justin circulated. Similar to the first, he sang his own song, "One Less Lonely Girl," replacing the lyrics with "One Less Lonely."
Now this is where I gained sentience in my life. So he's like 9 years older than me. So I think by the time I gained sentience, I heard about this video.
And using the hard R, stating that if he were to kill one, he would be part of the KKK. He apologized again a day later and was released, stating, "Facing my mistakes from years ago has been one of the hardest things I've ever dealt with, but I feel I need to take responsibility for those mistakes and not let them linger. At the end of the day, I just need to step up and own what I did. Once again, I'm sorry for all of those I've let down and offended." I don't think I really need to explain why people were absolutely outraged with this. And for a lot of people, once they saw these videos, their mind was made up about Justin Bieber, and they're never going to change their mind. And I can't blame them for that. Justin dragged his reputation to an all-time low. He was stamped as just another child star gone mad. After a drunk driving incident in Miami, he was never the same. Justin was seen at SET nightclub in Miami Beach, Florida. He left the venue driving a yellow Lamborghini before police spotted him in a residential neighborhood. Bieber's entourage allegedly blocked the street so he could drag race singer Khalil, who was driving a red Ferrari. Authorities initially conducted a traffic stop for drag racing, but arrested Justin once they realized he was intoxicated. He was arrested on suspicion of driving under the influence, driving with an over 6-month expired license, and resisting arrest without violence. His mugshot depicting him smiling was concerning to fans. Police claim Bieber told authorities he consumed alcohol, smoked marijuana, and took prescription drugs.
Bro, drinking and driving is just, especially drag racing while drinking and driving 100
were locked
while
up in
drunk.
the jail cell for 10
Nah,
hours.
you're gonna end a family of 5. Like I hate that. I hate that.
Justin was later released from these charges on a $2,500 bond. A toxicology report revealed that Bieber had THC and Xanax in his system at the time of his arrest. Following Bieber's arrest on the DUI charge, more than 270,000 people petitioned the White House seeking to have him deported from the United States. Although the number of signatures received was sufficient to require a response under published White House guidelines, the Obama administration
he is Canadian. He is Canadian.
didn't take the petition seriously. But it turns out behind the scenes, Justin had a much worse drug problem than people realized.
There was a time where I was sipping lean, I was popping pills, I was doing...
Man was sipping lean before it was cool.
Molly,
That's crazy.
You know, shrooms, everything. And it was just an escape for me. I was just young.
Justin's drug abuse got so bad, he was even caught in the most dangerous areas of Los Angeles buying drugs.
Hood, homie. MS gang. Nice seeing you, bro. Have a good one. I just saw Bieber. I just seen Bieber. Leave it to Bieber.
Now, buying drugs alone, knowing who he is a bad idea. It's a real bad idea. You could easily be robbed. Well, I mean, actually, you know, because who knows? Maybe he knows some cool people. But, like, someone could just, like, easily extort you for money, it feels like. You know, once I saw this dude drive over the bump separating the roads, drove over it, and go, what? Bro, did he live?
That's crazy.
His addiction got so bad, he was willing to put his own life at risk. Justin says his substance use was normal in the beginning, but gradually became a problem to escape from the pressure of being this pop star. And although many people look at that as suffering from success, the level of expectation he needs to meet is unattainable. Surely a lot of his controversies were deplorable, but the ones that were minor were treated just as bad. That likely led to him giving up on his health, his body, and lashing out since they were going to criticize him anyways. He couldn't go out on a bad note though. So he made one last push after teaming up with Skrillex to produce a number of different sounds. Where Are You Now? Then What Do You Mean? Which was his first #1 hit single. Sorry, which kind of doubled as his apology to the world for his behavior.
That's crazy.
Love Yourself. And plenty
oh my god, yo, he actually went crazy.
of other radio hits to help him release his most successful album of all time, Purpose. It's hard for his opposition to feel bad for him when in the end, all of his antics will just help him sell more records. No matter what he does, it will be seen as the wrong step. It's quite literally is the child star curse, because nothing you do will ever compare to how you were introduced to the world as a perfect, innocent child. And with that, he finally stepped out of the spotlight, and when he returned, you could see how bad things really got. First of all, his music got worse. Yummy was terrible. But more importantly, in the press runs that led up to this, you can see Justin physically suffering. His anxiety was so bad to the point where he was constantly fidgeting, slumping over, not looking at people.
What that does to a person's brain at such a young age or any age, when you're surrounded by that kind of noise and excitement for so long, I mean, did you realize that was, I mean, looking back on it, what it was?
Yeah, the body language.
Perhaps the most profound moment was during his Zane Lowe interview when he asked Justin about Billie Eilish, since Billie in 2020 was the 18-year-old pop star who was thrown into the industry very similar to Bieber.
Yo, when Billie Eilish turned 18, the day she turned 18, I think people started making a big deal about it. They got weird about it. The day she turned 18, it was weird.
Felt like he wanted to protect her.
I think it was like people were like celebrating, like it was like Kwanzaa or something, like, yo.
Yeah, so
come on.
Yeah, I just
we're gonna pretend that's normal.
I just want to protect her, you know. I don't want her to lose it. I don't want her to, you know, go through anything I went through. I don't wish that upon anybody. So yeah, if she ever needs me, I'm just a call away.
Just the mere
and I think Michael Jackson had it the worst. He also succeeded the most, but he also like was on so many drugs. Oh my god! Like yeah, it's bad.
Enduring what Justin had to endure brought him to tears.
Growing up as a child
dark
star
moments in his life made
tragic.
Fans realize that this was not fake. This young man was likely abused by this industry. Justin's antics have slowed down considerably.
That's not it.
He's 29, has a child and a wife he's fully focused on. Does he still have an entitled pop star attitude at times? Absolutely. Does he still have beef with the paparazzi? You bet. Some of you will never see Bieber as anything but a privileged boy who didn't have to put in much hard work to see the heights of the music industry. But even the benefits of his success, being universally loved, being praised, and constantly receiving validation, are also bad. Variety magazine dubbed him a once-in-a-generation superstar who charted a swift and stunning rise from precocious YouTube talent to global phenomenon. How the heck do you live up to that? Bieber was being cheered and rewarded for a smile and a hair flip. The world put him on this unsustainable pedestal, which ultimately caused him to break. All I know for sure is, no money or fame is worth whatever the heck he had to endure to get it.
Bro, they abused the hell out of him as a human being. They did him so dirty for existing. Dang, bro.